Okay, so these people are kind of talking, they're negotiating, they're sorting something out. There's a business element to this. I'm seeing something you might have been putting off, actually. I think you might have been putting this off for a while. And yeah, it's partly practical, like I'm seeing in this card. There's also an emotional element to this. It involves some emotions as well. And yeah, I think you've been putting this off for a few different reasons. I think this might be around someone from your past, actually. Yeah, it's someone you were close to, quite close to actually, but you're not close to them anymore. So the feeling I'm getting is that maybe even talking to this person, maybe even being around them, might make you feel as if you're kind of going backwards in time, or that you have this kind of it's really difficult to explain. It's kind of just a really horrible feeling. It's like, oh, I don't want to go back there. That's how I used to be. That's how things used to be. I'm trying to move forward. I don't want to do that. It's like you don't want to go back to another time, back to another life. It makes you feel not that great. That's what I'm getting there. And so, you've changed a lot as a person as well since you were around them. You've changed your whole life, actually. You might have even moved house, maybe even moved further than that. And I think when you did all of that, or around that time, sometime around then, you changed everything. You changed everything. Everything in your life changed. And yeah, you didn't want to go backwards. You didn't want to go back to those old feelings. But I think with this thing, you had to go back and fix something, negotiate something, work something out, sort something out. It was a practical thing, but then you had these horrible, not so great emotions around that as well. And you had to go back and face all this again. I think you might still be going through this, actually. If this resonates, don't shy away from this, because I'm seeing that you might have tried to put this off quite a few times, and then you just realized, I can't put this on anymore. I have to do this. But don't keep on putting this off, because you might start it and then think, oh, I can't go any further with this. I'm just going to put it off for a while. I'm just going to take a break. I can't do this now, whatever. Don't do that. Keep on pushing this until it's finished. That doesn't mean rushing it. It just means keep on going, because I think once this is finished, the relief's going to be fantastic. You're going to feel really relieved, and you're going to be exhausted. You're going to be exhausted because this is going to be a lot of work, but you're just going to be so relieved this is over. So keep on going. The next card you have for your past is the Page of Swords. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you this is going to be easy. It's absolutely not. It's not going to be easy. I think this person that you have to deal with, they're probably going to be a little bit defensive, a little bit difficult. And yeah, I'm seeing this again. There's a lot of emotion around this. Even though this is a practical thing, there is emotion here. So I don't know if this will make sense, but if you do feel emotional while you're dealing with this person, I think you're just going to have to try to find some way to put these emotions to one side if you can. I know that's easy for me to say. Okay, it might help if you think of them as a client maybe, or someone like that, someone you have to talk to and be polite to and everything like that. But you're not emotionally involved with them. So maybe think of them like that. I don't know if that'll help, but I hope it helps someone anyway. Because I don't want your emotions to mess with your head while you're in the middle of this. Because I'm seeing a lot of negotiations and a lot of problems around this that need to be ironed out. And, I just want you to come out of this well. I just want you to come out of this on top. So, yeah, try to put your emotions aside if you can. There's a big emotional element here. I keep on seeing that. It's attached to a practical thing. I think it's probably a person from your past that you had emotions for or feelings for, and now you're having to bring them back to you now, or you're having to go back to get to them and talk about something. That's what I'm seeing. It's very difficult. Okay, so the last card you have your past is the Queen of Wands. I love this queen. I love her. This is my favourite queen. She looks at us in the eye, straight in the eye. She's facing us. She gets things done. She's brave. I think you have someone in your corner. I think you really do. There's someone on your side. And yeah, what this person's like is, they're like this queen. They do things, they push things forward. If this is a love connection, and I think it might be, they're relieved that you're doing this. They are relieved that you're finally doing this. I think they might have pushed you. They might have said, come on, get this done, get this done, get this, because that's what they're like. But you were kind of like, oh, wait a minute, let me think about this, I don't know. That's what I'm getting going on between you. And I think the outcome of this probably impacts on them in some way as well. But yeah, they were very frustrated about this at one time, and they were trying to tell you, I think, to hurry up and do this. And you were putting this off and it was driving them crazy, but now you're doing this. But yeah, this is a fantastic person to have beside you, especially if they're fighting your corner. You want to have the Queen of Wands next to you. They might be a bit blunt sometimes, but they're going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you the truth, the harsh truth, so you know exactly where you are with them. There are some bits of this person's personality where they might not be, I'm not saying they're dishonest, but they could lose interest quite quickly, if that makes sense. Yeah, if you are in a relationship with them, I think you might have had a few ups and downs with them, actually. You might have separated at one time, maybe even more than once. Yeah, this is what I'm seeing. They can be a little bit restless. So yeah, watch out for that if this resonates. You probably already know this. That's what I'm seeing. You've been through a lot with them. I'm just looking at this cat. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I'll just move that up so you can see. Yeah, there's a black cat there. And, cats wander around, so I'm not saying they're wandering around, but they do love you, this person. I can see that. I can really see that. And they do care for you. They might get a little bit bored sometimes. They get a bit bored easily. I'm not saying you're boring. I'm not saying that at all. But maybe this is what's happened when you separated before. Maybe they wandered off. Maybe they went to see what else was there. Maybe you fought and you separated and they went with someone else. That might be a sticking point with you. That might be something that really bothers you. I don't know. But just be aware of this if this resonates. Yeah, I'm sure you are aware of this, actually, because I think you've been through a lot with them, and yeah, you've come through a lot with them. So I think probably you've had this separation, you've been through things, you've kind of talked it out, and now you're kind of back together. I think there are still a few little things that are kind of still get you a little bit. So you kind of got that little worry that they might wander off again. But I think basically they're a very good person to have with you, especially with these negotiations. And I don't think you have much to worry about with them. I don't want to make you paranoid. I think you're actually quite close. And they do love you. They absolutely love you. That's what I'm seeing in that card. I hope that isn't too confusing, because I was seeing a lot of different mixed up things in there. So the first card you have your presence, the High Priestess. Yeah, I keep on seeing this situation. I keep on seeing this negotiation. It's the biggest thing I keep on picking up again and again in this reading. So someone needs to hear that. They need to hear about getting on with this, doing this negotiation. I don't know if this is an ex. It might be an ex-friend, might be an ex-business partner. There are emotions attached to this. So you're either their friend or this is an ex. You had some kind of emotional attachment to them. Now, this is going to be really, really difficult, actually. Now, they're really hard to read. That's what I'm seeing here. They're not going to let you know what they're thinking. Part of this is, this is just what they're like. And the other part of this is, I think they're just fighting for themselves as well, or that's how they feel. And this is their way of fighting. They don't let people know what they're feeling. They kind of keep their feelings to themselves. And when I say fight, I mean negotiating. You're not having an actual fight. But their personality is a little bit like this. It's a little bit like a poker player, actually. They don't show their feelings. And especially when there's a lot at stake for them, and I think that's how they're feeling. So just be prepared for that. They're not going to be transparent at all. So you're not going to have a lot to go on, by looking at them. You're not going to tell how they're feeling. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is I think there's an opportunity here. I think it's probably a work opportunity. I think this is something, I don't think you're going to have to choose this right away or make a decision right away. It's something that's kind of sometime in the future. I think you know about this now, but you don't have to make the decision until, sometime in the future. That's what I'm seeing. I think someone might have told you about this. Maybe they've just told you this. They've mentioned this opportunity to you. I think this might be coming from a friend. Now, if they haven't said anything to you already, I think you'll probably hear about this soon. This is like a new business, or it's a startup, it's something like that. I don't think it's an actual regular job. It's something someone wants you to participate in because you have the skills they want. Now, I know you have a lot on right now because I'm seeing this. You're busy, you're thinking about these negotiations, you're stressed, you've got other things happening. But if you say yes to this, I don't think this is something, again, it's not something you'll be starting right away. I'm seeing that again. There's a waiting time between now and when you actually start. So don't automatically dismiss this because you're busy. Don't say, oh, I don't have time right now. I can't even think about that. Don't do that. Because I think by the time you're ready to start, your life will be a lot less complicated. You'll probably have finished these negotiations. You'll have a lot of other free time by that time. You don't now, but you will then. That's what I'm seeing. So don't dismiss this thing. So the next card you have your presence, the Two of Wands. Yeah, this is a good opportunity. The whole world's in front of this man. All this beautiful landscape, everything's out there laid out in front of him. So if you say yes to this, it's going to open up a whole lot of other things for you as well. There might be travel in this as well. And I think you already know this, or you will soon. You might be weighing this up because sometimes this card can be about being at a crossroads. My feeling around this is that you should say yes to this. You should say yes, because if you do change your mind later on and you decide not to do this, I don't think they'd be angry. I don't think they'd be upset. Again, I think this person probably knows you. They either know you socially, it might even be a family member. So they're not going to be angry if you say no later on. You don't have anything to lose. That's what I'm seeing here. Of course, this is up to you. But from what I'm seeing here, if it were me, I'd definitely say yes to this. I'd absolutely say yes. I'm also getting this feeling of being on hold. This man kind of wants to go out into this landscape. He wants to walk out, but he can't quite do that yet. Something's kind of making him wait. So, you're waiting for everything to finish. And I think this is about this negotiations again. You just want it to be over with. Part of you wants to be over with, but part of you kind of wants to hold off because you don't like doing it. It's kind of a double-edged sword here. So, I'd love to be able to say, here's a magic wand, everything's over. But all I can see is you're just going to have to keep on pushing forward with this as best you can. You're going to get to the end of this, but see this as a priority. Put this first. Put these negotiations as a priority. Whatever you do, just don't procrastinate. The sooner it's all finished, the sooner you'll move forward with the rest of your life, really. Look at this man. He's looking out over to this landscape and he's thinking, I want to get on with my life. I want to get on with the rest of my life. I can't move yet, but I want to. So that's what you're going to be like. When you're finished, you'll be able to move on. But also, I know I'm going to sound as if I'm contradicting myself, but don't rush either. Don't just rush and go, oh, whatever, I'll just do whatever to get this over with. No, because the decisions you make are going to determine this future that you have. So, find a balance between rushing and not doing anything. You need to be somewhere in the middle of that. That's what I'm seeing. I know that sounds crazy that I'm kind of contradicting myself. I don't mean to. I hope that makes sense to you. The last card you have your presence, the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I keep on seeing this same thing again. This is the same negotiation thing. I know this is such a specific reading and I don't mean to do that. I like to have things a little bit more open. I like to see lots of different things. But in this reading, I'm just seeing this over and over and over again. So I'm really sorry if this isn't resonating with you, but I have to say what I see here, and obviously someone's suffering with this, or they're kind of worried about this thing. So I know this is probably going to drive you crazy if this is all resonating, but again, it's going to take time. This negotiation is going to take time. I wish I could make it go faster. I can't. It's a little bit like, if you look at this card, it's a little bit like your turn, their turn, your turn, their turn, kind of going up and down, like a kind of a seesaw. And, I'm just looking at this infinity symbol as well. And it's kind of like, oh, this is just taking forever. It's going on and on. That's how you're going to be feeling sometimes. But don't let this slowness make you feel as if you just want to do anything or agree to anything or sign anything, especially sign anything. Because I think this other person might be delaying a bit on purpose to use this as a kind of a tactic to get you to kind of just agree to just about anything. It's like, oh, I don't know. I'm not ready to answer this yet. That's what's going to come from them. And you're going to be like, oh, just hurry up and do this. Come on, I've already been through so much with this. I just want to get it done. And they might just say, okay, well, just sign this then. And then you might say, okay, don't do that. Don't do that. I know it's frustrating, but if it takes time and you're better off in the end, let it take its time. Do what you need to do. Again, don't procrastinate. Don't just let things drag on just for the sake of it. Do what you need to do as you go along. Don't fall behind, but be careful as well. Don't just push through things to get it over with. And especially don't just sign things just because this person's kind of annoying you. Don't do that. Just think about where you want to be at the end of this. And if they kind of offer anything to you, if they say, come on, just sign this and then we'll get this over with, don't think about getting it over with now. Think about the end result. Put that above everything else. That's what I'm seeing there. Okay, so the first card you have, your future, is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, I'm really glad to see this here. I love this, and I think this is what you really need. You need a situation like this. This is just kind of giving you a break. This is giving you kind of a holiday from this whole thing. This is springtime. This is newness. The pages can be about messages as well. So I think you're just going to be asked to do something fun. That's what I'm seeing here. Something outside, maybe. This is what you need. You need a break from this. I think someone's going to ask you to come away with them. Might be a holiday. I hope it is. Might be just an afternoon away. But yeah, just get ready for someone to invite you to something. And I think this invitation is going to come from someone who knows you very well. I think they probably know your family. So this isn't a date. It's nothing like that. It's not a love connection. It's just someone who cares about you. And yeah, you're very comfortable with them, very familiar with them. Definitely say yes to this. It's really going to give your head a rest, your mind a rest. It's going to recharge your batteries, and it's going to make you feel as if you're ready to push through this and get up to the next level with this and get yourself through this, So this is exactly what you need. Don't think, oh, I can't have a holiday, I can't have any time off, I can't have a day off, I can't have a few days off, I've got to push forward with this thing. Yeah, you do, and I know I'm telling you that, but I think a break in your head is going to give you that refreshment to let yourself, or to make you push forward with the last bit that you've got to do. That's what I'm seeing. I'm really sorry if this reading's really confusing. I am struggling with this. I think you can tell that because I keep on seeing this negotiation. It's a very, very stressful thing. If this is resonating with you, I'm feeling the stress around this. And for me, because this is going on and on and on for you, it's going on for me in this reading as well. So just bear with me. I am trying my best with this, but I never edit things. I never stop things. I never do a reading again because, unless the whole thing doesn't record, because there's always a message there for someone. And I think when I'm reading this out, when I'm reading this, when I'm reading what I see here, You know, there's someone there for someone, and I'm doing this at the right time, and someone's listening to this at the right time. And you know, that's why I'm doing this anyway. I'm not going to go on. I'm really kind of turning into a crazy person. So okay, so the next card we have for your future is the Magician. Okay, so this is fantastic. So I think this is what's going to happen to you after you've had this break, after you've cleared your head. Then you have the Magician. So this is what I'm seeing here. You're going to be really sharp. You're going to suddenly be really mentally sharp, feeling as if you're ready, really capable. So yes, take this break. If you take this break, this is what you're going to feel like. Now, I don't think you felt like this for a long time. You haven't felt this strong. But now, you know, you're going to start to get your power back. That's what I'm seeing. That's what the Magician's all about. So yeah, I'm seeing so many things in this reading where you've been at a crossroads, unsure of yourself, procrastinating, putting up with difficult people. And I think now you're just going to start to realize how powerful you actually are. And you have been all along. You have the ability now to get what you want. Your opposition might be coming up as the High Priestess, which is what I was seeing. But you're coming up as a Magician now. You weren't before, but you are now. And to me, that trumps just about everything. So yeah, you're going to be feeling really sharp, really eloquent, not like me in this reading. And you'll know exactly what you want to say. You'll know exactly what not to say, which is the most important thing. You know, some people don't know what not to say. So you'll know when to keep quiet. You'll know when to talk. I don't know if you've ever had one of those days where everything that just comes out of your mouth is a disaster, you know, like me right now. You can't get the words out. And, you know, when you finally do say something, it's kind of embarrassing. That happens to me all the time, like now. And then you have these other days when everything just comes out perfectly. You know, people agree with you and you know, they think what you're saying is fascinating and interesting and all of that. You're going to have a big chunk of time ahead of you where you'll be like situation B, if that makes sense. And this is perfect timing for you, perfect timing, because this is when you need to be sharp. You'll have these negotiations, you'll go right into this, you know exactly what to say, and it is going to turn out really well for you in the end. I'm so happy to see this. Now, I'm not saying everything in your life is going to be perfect, of course not. But as far as talking, negotiating, getting your point across, everything you're going to need for this is going to work out fantastically for you. It's going to seem like magic for you. You know, this is the Magician. So yeah, that's what it's going to feel like for you. It's just like, I know what to say. It's just coming into my head and it's coming out. That's how it's going to feel. Fantastic. I love this. The last card you have, your future, is the Hierophant. Yeah, again, you're coming into this time when you'll just know your own strength and you'll know your own mind and you'll be confident in yourself. You're going to gain confidence as each good things comes out of your mouth, as it all works for you. You're going to gain that confidence and you're going to know your own power. You're going to listen to your own power. That's your inner power. That's the power you already had, but you didn't know because you hadn't seen it yet, and now you can. Now the Hierophant, he has his ears covered. He listens to his inner voice. And I'm really glad you're going to be doing this. You're going to be listening to yourself because your inner voice is going to be super, super powerful at this time. Now, you might want to write down a lot of your thoughts. I think you're going to have some really positive thoughts and you're going to have some really profound thoughts as well. Very, very profound, very wise thoughts. Now, you're not always going to be on this high. It'd be impossible for that to happen. So some of these thoughts, write them down, save them, remember them for when you need to hear them later. Share them with other people. Share your knowledge, share your wisdom. I'm really happy to see this in the end of you. I'm so happy this turned out like this because I was so worried about this reading. You know, it just seemed really like a disaster. I was struggling with it. But the ending is turning out to be really, really, really amazing. And yeah, you're going to get through this. You're going to get through these negotiations and it's going to be fine. It's going to be more than fine, actually. You're going to come out of this on top because of your confidence, because of trusting yourself and knowing what to say at the right time. That's what I'm seeing. Now, Libra, I know I struggled with this reading. It was a very, very difficult reading for me. It was quite repetitive, I know, but I kept on seeing the same things. I know I stumbled a bit, but I really just hope that this resonates with someone and that someone got some kind of a message out of this. And I really, really especially hope the ending does end up resonating with you, because it's an absolutely beautiful ending and showing me that you will get through whatever this really, really hard time is. That's what I'm seeing there. I'm not going to say any more. I'm just going to end it now. Thank you for watching.